All right, welcome to episode 24 Inside the Paint. We're here with John and Ben today. Or shall I say tonight? John with his bandwagon shirt on. Since his team's not doing so hot.
RJ
Do you
Barrett.
mind?
This is my team.
Is it?
Bullshit.
Oh, you guys were talking about the Cavs? Yeah. I like
Or the
Cavs.
Lakers.
The Lakers are good. Lakers are
I was
good.
up on them.
Cavs are great, though. Cavs probably one of the best teams in the league.
Hey, Cavs could statistically still make the playoffs.
It's like exactly. Don't count us out.
As he wears a Knicks shirt.
That's right. Because the Knicks, I'm a Knicks fan right now too.
Of course. Well, we got a packed episode today, but we got a few announcements before. As you know, John said something in the bonus episode that has yet to be confirmed. So for our 1 year, John said that we are doing the MJ versus LeBron special. As of right now, it's not happening.
It's happening.
It's not happening.
Why wouldn't it happen?
Because Floyd has a job now that keeps him pretty much. He goes to bed at like 9:30 every day.
Well, then we'll just do it earlier. Think of the fans, Luke. Think of the fans. Think about Lynn Boss, right? Think of
where's Lynn Boss? I haven't
heard
seen
Lynn Boss in like a week or two, man.
Right, guys. We need to do it for the fans. All right. We'll move heaven and earth to get this happening.
I'm willing to move my chair.
Well, as of right now, it's not confirmed, so it's not 100%. But if we can figure out a date and time where we can all do it, then I will gladly. We might, if we can record it tomorrow and I'll post it on the 1 year, then I'll do that or something like that. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so that's that one. Second one is for Mr. Terrence Clark. Was that his name? Oh gosh, is it Terrence Davis or Terrence Clark? Oh my gosh, it's Terrence Clark, isn't it? It's Terrence Clark.
That's so fucked, Luke. That's so fucked.
I'm so sorry.
That's one of the worst things you've ever done in your life.
I'm sorry. It's Terrence Clark. That man was a beast. I watched him play once. So rest in peace to him. He was actually projected to get drafted by the Celtics. But I hope they do something in the drafts like they did with who's that one guy that he got like diagnosed with something before? You know what I'm talking about? He got diagnosed with like.
It sounds familiar. I just can't come up with the name.
With some sort of illness.
He got diagnosed with like a career-ending illness, and then they like picked him as like an honorary pick or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you guys see the Celtics tribute for Terrence Clark?
I did. I watched it.
That was pretty cool.
I will say though, like they are not. I don't know what's up with Boston though. It was like Len Bias first. And Terrence Clark. I don't know if they were going to draft him, but unfortunate. But yeah, we carry on. So check out the shop. Quick plug. Check out the shop because why not? Oh, we got 2 viewers now. What's good?
I think I'm the second one.
Macy, I got some beef with you. I'll put it on. I'll wait. So first topic of today is about John's Cavs. We haven't had a Cavs topic in a while.
It's about the Kevin Love incident?
I would like to get your opinion on the Kevin Love incident. And if you don't know, the referee was passing Kevin Love the ball. He swatted it away out of frustration. Raptors got it back, hit a 3. And he didn't care.
Off an inbound too,
off
like
and
he
inbound.
inbound the ball by
He didn't
swatting
even
it back at the
by
ref.
literally just
Yeah.
like doing like fuck this.
Yeah,
Like,
he just like brushed it off and yeah.
and then he didn't do anything to even try and like defend. He just. So I want your opinion.
John, since you're the Cavs fan, I'll let you go first on this one.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, I still believe that Kevin Love is a good basketball player, but he is not doing the Cavs any favors by saying that. And to be perfectly honest with you, if I was the coach, I would have pulled him immediately. Immediately. I'm calling a timeout. I'm pulling him, and I'd bench him for the rest of the season. That is no excuse for anything of the sort. Absolutely not. You could be losing 100-0. No excuse. You play your heart out 100% of the time. Don't focus on the refs. Every athlete knows that.
Yeah. I totally agree with him being frustrated. Yeah, the Cavs aren't good.
He also got hacked 2 times in a row.
Yeah, but
that happens though.
It is unfortunate, but it happens. And even as kids, we're taught no, you play, you try to remain as calm as you can. You take a breath if you need to, and then you continue to play. And as a professional, you are expected to do that. Like I'm with John. I would have totally pulled him. I don't care if that man is LeBron James or the 15th player on my roster. I don't care how much I'm paying him. You're getting on the bench. And that apology video he sent out, someone told him to say that stuff. Ain't no way.
It's a PR. It was definitely
because he was
PR
like,
stunt.
I'm with Cleveland to the day I die. I'm like, dude, weren't you trying to get traded like a year ago?
Yeah.
like you're not. No, come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a lapse in judgment, and
I mean, you can definitely tell that was a PR stunt.
Oh yeah.
But like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But let me ask you this, John. What if it was down by 10? Game 7 of the championship. LeBron did that same exact thing with 2 minutes left. Would you pull him?
Then I pull him. It depends on what year.
I don't
Prime LeBron.
care.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about that, but is it like 2017 LeBron?
Any year,
Pick
the year you
who's
want.
on his team?
It
Who's
don't
on his
matter.
team?
Fine, just say like
It
let's
does
just say
matter.
okay, fine. Let's just say it's the Cavs. Let's just say it's the Cavs. Cav year.
Okay,
Cav championship year.
2018.
The one where they won the championship. 16.
Okay, 16. All right. I'm pulling. If LeBron does that, I'm the coach.
The final 2 minutes.
I call a timeout. We're down by 10. You said?
Yeah, around 10.
Okay.
Make it
timeout.
Close, but not really.
Right. Call a timeout. I bring the whole team together. I say, listen. I go straight to LeBron. I say, LeBron, do you want to play? Do you want to play? If his answer is no, bench. We're all good, guys. Play your hearts out. But if he says yes, then I look him dead in the eye. I say, LeBron, you do that stunt one more time, I swear to God, you're being benched. If you really want to win, if you really want to play like a man. All right, don't be a bitch. I swear, I look LeBron dead in the face and do it.
I'll bring up the step stool so you can get up to eye level for you. But
yes, sir.
I disagree with that. I hate the fact that, I mean, it happens at every level that the star player will get that kind of treatment, and whether it's deserving or not, if anyone pulls that kind of stunt, they're being benched. It may not be for the rest of the game. I don't know like how long someone would want to bench that player for. I'm not saying I would have benched Love for the remainder of that game, but I would have pulled him out for quite a significant amount of time. And I'd do that with LeBron too. I'd do it with Jordan. I'd do it with anyone.
With that,
Jordan, I'd bench him
2 minutes left in game
regardless.
7.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you clearly don't care about winning this game. You can go sit on the bench. I'll play someone who does.
I guarantee you'd be fired immediately after.
I don't care.
Guarantee it. Listen, your job as head coach
My
is
job
to
as head
win games.
is to coach and win games. Yes. And if my
Right.
players aren't, and if I have a player on that court that does not act or look like he wants to win that game, I'll put him on the bench. I'll play someone who does. Maybe less talented, but he'll actually want to be out there trying to win.
Okay, but there's a difference between a guy like, Jeff Green going out there as backup for LeBron and then LeBron James. I'm not saying that LeBron should get away with that stuff. I'm just saying that to immediately bench him after pulling a stunt like that is a little. I mean, it's LeBron James. Then. It's LeBron James.
I get that, but you can't have that double standard just because this man is great, because he's one of the best. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have that double standard.
Okay, well, I'll cry into my ring, and I'll cry into my trophy. Well, you sit there homeless because you got fired and whatever. At the end of the day,
let's think about this from a viewer's perspective. John, say you're watching the game instead of coaching it. Okay. And the same exact situation happens where he does the same thing Kevin Love did with 2 minutes left in a 10-point game 7.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the coach benches him.
Okay.
How mad are you?
Furious. If I was in the stadium, I'd walk over to the Cavs bench. Like, I'd walk around the stadium, get to that section, and yell, "Ty Lue, you're a..."
Beep, 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 beep,
yeah, there you
go.
See, because, as a fan, like, especially as a young player, what does that teach you? Like, if you see LeBron doing that and he gets away with it, that shows the kids that, oh, if you're good enough, you can get away with all your shenanigans.
Well, you can. That's how it works.
It shouldn't.
Okay, but we're not sitting here arguing an ethical debate. We're sitting here arguing whether or not you want to win or lose the finals. Personally, I'm going to win. That's why I'll go to LeBron in front of the entire team so that everyone can hold everyone accountable and say, listen, you don't want to play, get your ass on the bench. I don't fucking need you. But if you want to play and don't do that shit again, get out on the court and get us these buckets. You got 2 minutes and we'll fucking win the game. Kick the Warriors' ass, block Andre Iguodala, splash Kyrie Irving over Steph doesn't shoot the ball at all well, and win the ship.
You good?
That's my plan. And I hate Ty Lue.
Agree to disagree.
I hate Ty Lue more than anything in my life.
Really?
Hate him. We had a timeout.
Isn't Ty Lue the head coach of the Clippers right now?
I will never forgive LeBron James if he loses with the Clippers. I will never forgive LeBron James.
Yeah, they got to get past Denver first.
Okay.
All right. Well,
it's like saying the Nets have to get past the Cavs.
Not even close.
Right.
Not
the Cavs will
close.
sweep the Nets. Cavs will sweep the Nets.
That's like saying the Nets have to get past Milwaukee. That's a competition. Come on now.
Who do you have who can guard Colin Sexton? I'm asking you, Luke.
Are you asking me?
What? Yeah. What are we talking about?
Who can guard Colin Sexton on your team?
James Harden?
Not a goddamn person can guard Colin Sexton in the league. Right?
Harden.
Katie's good. Katie's good.
Joe Harris.
I'll give you that.
Oh yeah.
I'll give you that. Joe Harris can shoot the ball.
You give me one more person, I give you a starting lineup.
I guarantee you, I got Kevin Love over KD any day of the week. KD's out of shape. He's out of shape. Doesn't have enough power on him.
Hey, that Pepsi's really that Pepsi really got to me quick today.
Listen.
Yeah, that's
doesn't have enough power.
When he was in college, and that's why Greg Oden was picked over him.
Well, listen.
Hey, if Greg
At the
Oden
end
didn't
of the
get,
day,
you can't blame Greg Oden. He was just riddled with injuries. That's
That's
not a
true.
fair
I fucking
comparison.
love Greg Oden. I
But
love Greg Oden.
it's crazy to think, talking about that Greg Oden situation, it's crazy to think that the Trailblazers could have had Jordan throughout the 80s and 90s, and then in the mid 2000s have drafted KD.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about. Yeah.
All right. Well, that topic actually went along pretty smoothly. So they said LeBron might be returning. They said in about a week.
This week,
Yeah. And I don't know. Is AD still playing with minute restrictions as of right now?
I think so.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure LeBron will probably have some sort of restriction. But when they get to full minutes, no restrictions, would it be too late to rack up?
Too late for what?
I wouldn't, because obviously they're in the playoffs.
Mhm.
But is it too late for them to get the hype back around them?
Well, I don't know. He played 31 minutes tonight.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's not minutes restriction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So LeBron,
Um,
I'm pretty sure he'll have minute restrictions.
I don't. What do you mean by hype? Like the media attention around them?
Yeah, because it's been dead silent.
Well, media attention doesn't really mean much. What they need to do is get back to, being able to play with both of them in the starting lineup, and I think they will easily do that. But like,
All right, let me reboot it.
doesn't.
Let me reboot
Okay.
it. So by the time LeBron gets back, you still have them in finals matchup.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I feel
If
like
they
by
make the playoffs, they're going to the finals.
yeah, I don't know about all the way to the finals, but definitely in the conference finals. Like,
Who do you have beating the Lakers?
honestly, the Jazz could, the Clippers could. AD could re-injure himself. He has been injury prone his entire career.
Wait, hold on. John is not really the best with predicting finals. He literally said last year Lakers wouldn't win. Right?
Really? I'm
That was before the bubble,
shocked.
though.
So
That was before the bubble.
Even with the
Okay, what
bubble,
do you mean so? So the
without
bubble
it.
was a huge difference.
Hey, if you're a good team, you're a good team. Doesn't matter where you're playing in.
I completely disagree with that. I think
So
location matters wholeheartedly.
so you're saying if we, like me and you, back in Gahanna, we were to go into some back alley, like street lacrosse kind of thing, and play UA, Gahanna could have had a chance.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, then
What I'm
location
saying,
doesn't matter that
what
much.
I'm saying is that if it wasn't for the bubble, I think teams like Milwaukee, I can't remember who was good last year at all. Give me a sec. Milwaukee, the Raptors, the Celtics, top three teams in the league could have done a hell of a lot better. But the
wait a minute,
reason,
but then also you also said that Phoenix was good with the bubble. You told me that before.
absolutely,
But
So
now
do you think they're going to be bad in the playoffs without it? I mean, they are the second seed.
absolutely, I think they will be.
but for a completely different reason. You think it's because they haven't been in the playoffs in a while. That's why you think they'll be bad, not because of the
Yes.
location.
Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly think that, I don't see the Lakers getting the home court advantage for any series in the playoffs, and I think that isn't as much of a factor now. I mean, yes, it is similar to the bubble. There's almost no fans there, so it doesn't really make a difference. But
Yeah, I mean, I think
if the better team will come out regardless of where they're playing. So
I disagree. I think if it's in the bubble last year, he obviously won out the East. But if we're out of the bubble, I don't have the Heat beating the Bucks, Raptors, or Celtics. It's a completely different environment.
But it's not like
completely different
it's
environment.
not like the NFL where you could get hot for like right at the end of the season. You could have 2 or 3 miraculous games and be in the Super Bowl or even win it. You like this is games of 7, series of 7. You have to be the better team to win 4 of those. There's no like fluke. There's no, oh wow, that kind of just happened. Like, no, you have to be the better team.
See, but the thing is, Ben, that when you are stuck in a hotel room on a resort for 5 months, that's pretty taxing. I mean, the only people you can see are your teammates every day. You can ride the roller coasters, you can go fishing, but doing that every single day for 5 months, over and over and over and over and over again, it can really break down your mental.
Yeah,
Right?
and that
You don't have
shows
these
which
fancy
teams were able
cars.
to mentally sustain that.
I agree.
Ergo, making them the better overall team.
Okay, then we can argue that when you're not in the bubble, better teams don't always win.
No, better teams will win regardless of.
But that's not true, because if better teams win regardless, then why didn't Milwaukee beat the Heat?
Heat were better.
Heat weren't. Okay, then why were they a 5th seed and the Bucks were a 1 seed?
Because
they weren't better.
Milwaukee was better at the beginning of the season. As the season progressed, same with this year, the Heat has gotten better and better. And then when it came for them to fight, it came in that time. The Heat were the better team.
I see what you're saying.
And and in terms of like that mental taxation, in every other season prior to this, you have to go on the road at least twice into a very hostile crowd, and you're staying in hotels. You're everyone in that arena. My bad, is completely against you. Better team is still going to win. Like over the course of the series, the better team will still win.
I know exactly what you mean. I get what you're saying, and I wholeheartedly disagree with it.
I know you were gonna.
I couldn't disagree with it more.
Why do you try and like be all dramatic when we know what you're gonna say? Like, I completely.
I'm sorry
understand
for trying, Luke.
I'm
sorry for trying.
I completely understand you. That's a good
Right.
point. And you know what?
It is.
When you said that, I completely disagree.
You're right.
Hey, he's acknowledging my side. I've done the same thing multiple times.
Luke, fuck off.
Fuck you, John.
Like Luke, I acknowledge that you think Jordan is the GOAT, but you are completely wrong about it.
Yeah,
but that's
wrong.
But I acknowledge your
false.
opinion on the matter.
Your opinion is false.
My opinion on your opinion is false.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
yeah. Well, next topic.
You should have that. You know what you should do, Luke?
What's up?
You should add like a little blooper somehow, where like all you have to do is press a button on your keyboard, and then a little thing will spiral on the screen and be like, "Next topic," and then we move on.
I mean, I thought I was able to put a soundbite in one of these.
Yeah, like a soundbite would be perfect.
But one, it wouldn't show up on like the Zoom call audio, so it wouldn't really match up. But
I saw this little button on Amazon, and if you press it, it says tangent alert, tangent alert. And I thought about buying it for when we go off on tangents, and then I'd press the button randomly.
I just need that for everyday life, man. I go off on
wouldn't that be
left,
cool
right,
though?
and center. That would actually be kind of funny.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, I didn't get it. So.
Oh.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for the...
All right, what's our next topic there, Luke?
Okay.
So with the Pistons young core that they have, that's starting to get more minutes based on the fact that they're not making the playoffs. Well, can they be in the play-in tournament? Do they still have that or no,
I mean,
completely...
statistically they are still they could theoretically still make it.
if they win out. Pretty
If they
much.
win out and every other team loses every game. But no, the only two teams that are statistically eliminated are the Timberwolves and Rockets. So, but
I think I'm looking here. The Pistons are one game away from being out. If they lose one more game, I think they're out.
that sounds about right.
All
Okay,
right,
so
well,
what is your question
with
about
that,
the?
yeah, with the Detroit's young core, do you
Mhm.
feel how long do you think it'll take for them to succeed or at least be in the playoffs? I'll say.
I don't.
Uh,
What do you mean you don't? You
I
don't
don't
what?
think they'll ever get in the playoffs with this.
well,
With
obviously
this.
they'd be adding people, but I'd say three years to be at least somewhat competitive. Maybe make the ninth or 10th and have like those playing games. I'd
Mhm.
say 5 at the earliest for them to be like a solidified playoff contender if they can draft the right people, if they can keep the people that they need to. But it's Detroit; they're kind of a shit show, so
That
it
is
could literally be another decade before we ever see them in the playoffs again.
that's true.
There's only one hope for them, and they need to trade for LeBron James.
The bad boy Pistons need to come out of retirement. That is their hope.
Pretty much, you got to get Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman. You're gonna need to get everyone out. All play with LeBron. Pull up the third string, and they'll go to the finals. Probably beat the Nets while they're at it. Sweep the Nets.
So theoretically, if the Pistons continue to be shit for the next like 3 or 4 years, and they receive the number 1 overall pick when Bronny is into the draft, and Bronny is good enough to go number 1, and they take him, do you see LeBron actually going to Detroit just to play with the Sun?
No, I don't. And I don't think the Pistons will get him. I think
I think LeBron will go to any place to play with his son. If I'm being completely honest.
you see LeBron James going to Minneapolis.
He literally said that his number one goal is to play with his son.
With or
And-
against his son. He wants
never
to
said
be in
or
the
against.
league.
He never said
Yes, he did.
or.
Yes, he did.
Pull up the quote.
I never heard the against part,
Pull up the
but
quote, please.
I think he will, just because, especially at that point in his career, it'll be what 21st, 22nd season for him.
Mhm.
Like he'll be, almost 40. I don't see him really. I don't see him being the impact player he is now. I could be proven wrong though, but it'll be funny if I just find it funny if like he continues to say like, "Oh, I'll go and play with my son," and then he gets drafted by like Detroit or the Timberwolves or some like bottom shitty team, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna go.
Pass.
I'm gonna go back to the Lakers for one more year."
So, John,
We're both kind of wrong.
we were both kind of wrong.
How are you
Explain.
both kind
Yeah.
of wrong?
He said, quote, "You want to ask me what is the greatest achievement of my life? If I'm on the same court as my son in the NBA. That would be my number one in lifetime as an NBA player." So
Okay,
same
so
court
he's
could mean
not. Yeah, that can mean
both are
everything.
against.
No. All right.
Fair enough.
We'll take it. We'll take
You,
it.
you know
No,
what I think is going
I'm
to
sure
happen?
I'm sure if he has that opportunity and he is a free agent, he'll most likely go because
Hell no.
Well, isn't he a free agent when Bronny goes into the league?
I think so. I think after the extension he
Bro, they
is.
planned it. They gotta be planning that shit. Come on. Now.
So hold on. You guys want to hear
LeBron
something
James is
really
going home
funny?
like, you better be practicing. You ain't fucking this up for me.
You
Or
guys want
if
to
he
see
gets
something really
shittier,
funny?
what's up?
So in 2018, all right, 2018, LeBron James, he has D Wade, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, Derrick Rose, yada yada yada. at the trade deadline, he trades away basically half of his team, right? So at the trade deadline, he trades Isaiah Thomas and I think one other person for Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. He traded for them, and when they left LA and got to the Cavs, all of a sudden the Lakers had 2 max deals open up. And then they traded D Wade to the Cavs, to the Heat for, I think it was 2023 draft pick, the same year that Bronny can be declared
Can you
for the draft.
imagine?
So
Can you imagine?
I think if the Cavs don't get the first overall pick, they'll trade for it.
Well, if I'm being completely
And I
honest,
think
I don't think
LeBron-
Bronny's gonna be number 1 overall, based on how
You never know.
you never know, but it's also way too early.
It's crazy to think that we will graduate college the same year Bronny could be drafted into the NBA.
when Bronny goes number 1 overall, I think LeBron James is going to sign a 1-year max deal with the Cavs. He's just going to be 1 more year. They win a championship. He gets to 7, beats Michael Jordan. Nobody can use rings anymore in this debate.
At first, I thought you meant like beat Michael Jordan like in the finals. Like
Jordan's coming out of retirement.
What
He's
kind of
gonna
weird
go to the
timeline?
Bulls.
It's like a Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline here.
Oh, I finished Last Chance U basketball.
I didn't finish it yet.
I have not finished it either.
Oh. Well, you mentioned Marvel, and I thought, I'm watching WandaVision right now. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to tell Luke I finished basketball.
That's a good series.
Which is?
WandaVision.
It is so upsetting to me right now.
We can get.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah,
we can get into it.
Hey
after.
guys, this is our Marvel podcast where we talk about superheroes and shit.
Welcome to Inside the Iron Man suit. John's what's that?
All right. Well, I just want last thing I have on here before we get to Ben's little game that he does and John's question. I just want your final predictions for MVP. You cannot change your mind. This is your last chance we're talking about this before it actually happens.
Well, Luke, Ben and I already had a discussion on this earlier when you were gone.
I think I kind of heard you because I was.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't saying like who we. That wasn't saying like who we.
I heard you say something about Curry.
Yeah, we were talking about the whole Curry talk for it.
All right, Ben, you want to go first for this one?
In terms of Curry, I know a lot of people are hyping him up to like his statistics compared to like his unanimous MVP season are almost identical, if not better, in most categories. But I don't feel like he deserves the MVP. I know a lot of people are saying it because, if you take LeBron off the Lakers, they're not as good. You take Jokic off the Nuggets, they will fall. If you take Embiid off the Sixers or any of Brooklyn stars off the Nets, they'll stay the same. If you take Curry off the Warriors, they're still not a playoff contender.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like your team has to at least make the playoffs for you to be considered a legit MVP candidate. Because, if not, then it doesn't matter how good you were. You weren't all that valuable because you weren't able to push them to that next level. I personally feel like Jokic will win. I don't know if he should necessarily win because there are a bunch of other people, but I feel like he will win due to because it has a lot to do with the narrative as well. The narrative was played a huge part in the last 4 or 5 MVP winners. And the narrative is now it's Jokic's time. So I feel like he will end up winning. That's my prediction.
Okay. John?
I never liked Steph Curry very much.
Well, yeah, when he's bitch slapping the Cavs every year, I wouldn't like him either.
He was a nuisance to the Heat. He
The Heat.
the Heat. LeBron James was on the Heat for 4 years then.
Yeah, and they never
Was he
played.
not?
He never played the Warriors in the finals at
Not
any
in
of
the
those 4
finals.
years.
Yeah, but he's beaten the Heat before, and it was kind of like, hey, Steph Curry, why don't you fuck off?
So
Just
random, but all right.
Just let him continue.
2015, Kyrie gets hurt. Steph Curry launches 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. 16, we smacked him in his face. 17, 18, yada, yada, yada.
Honestly, I think Curry should have been that finals MVP in 15.
Steph Curry, I disagree with that, but that's a later topic. Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time. Of all time.
After
And
like
he deserves
Top
MVP
3 for
this
sure.
year.
top
Top
3,
three.
but you think he's
Top
better than
1.
Magic? You think he's better than Magic?
I think
he is better than Magic. I think Westbrook is better than Magic.
I think Chris Paul is better than Magic.
Honestly, I might agree with that.
Magic was good. Magic was really good, but he had no shooting whatsoever. He had a few handles, yeah, but I don't trust Magic Johnson to sit there and break a defender's ankles in 2, like Chris Paul or Steph Curry can do.
Well, to be fair, that wasn't the Lakers' offense either. Their
No, you're
offense
right.
was they were a running gun team, which
Absolutely.
so you never know.
But that doesn't always work. But the reason I have Steph Curry as my MVP, we have essentially, in my personal opinion, 4 people for MVP this year. Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Jokic, and Steph Curry.
You really think LeBron
obviously-
is still in the race?
Please, can I continue, or should I just? Which one? Okay, LeBron James. LeBron James deserves MVP every single year. The award is most valuable player. There is no player in the league more valuable to their team than LeBron James is to his, whichever team it may be. The reason I'm not giving LeBron MVP is because he's been injured for a good amount of the season, right? How can you be valuable if you're not there, right? So I take LeBron off. Joel Embiid, he was injured for a good amount of the season as well. They didn't drop from number 1, not until he was back.
They're still only 1 game behind the Nets. Like
Right.
they didn't even drop that far back.
Joel Embiid is having a crazy year, a career year. But your career year does not mean you are the most valuable player to your team, right? You got, 1,000 players on that team who have worked just as hard and who have won without you. I take Joel Embiid off. So right now it's down to Steph Curry and Nikola Jokic. Jokic is great. He's one of the best centers in the league. Not the best in my opinion, but he's a great center. And Jokic definitely could win MVP if Steph Curry hadn't gone off. Steph Curry came back, and he is the only reason they are winning games. Mans is averaging over 30 points per game. How many assists is he averaging then?
Hold on, let me check.
Stephen Curry. He is averaging regular season. It doesn't say.
5.7.
5.7. He's averaging 5.7 assists, 5.5 rebounds, 31.2 points on 34 minutes. He is a boss. He's a beast. You take Steph Curry on that team, their best player is Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson isn't playing. Draymond Green hasn't hit a shot all year. Kelly Oubre. I don't even want to talk about Kelly Oubre. He just makes me so mad. He was so good on the Heat, or on the Suns. And he's turned into the worst player in the fucking league. James Wiseman, rookie, has a lot to learn. Andrew Wiggins, another one of the worst players in the league. His best player is Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole. When we look at Nikola Jokic and we look at their roster, you got Jokic. You also have Jamal Murray, who gave you 50 points in the bubble.
You told me
He can
last
give
episode
you-
he wasn't impactful.
Yeah, we kind of like
Jamal
both
Murray?
agreed on that, like that he wasn't.
Jamal Murray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray isn't too impactful. I agree. But when you have Jamal Murray, you have Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Paul Millsap, who's the other guy on their team? Will Barton. Will Barton. Oh, that's a staple right there. That's a staple. You
Cap.
individually.
Cap.
Hold on.
Cap.
Can I finish? Or do you want to go? Can I finish?
Just had my statement.
Okay, that's what I thought. Individually, none of these guys are going to make a huge impact. But together, with that huge, great lineup, they're going to make a difference. You take Nikola Jokic off that team, they're obviously going to do a lot worse. You take Jamal Murray off that team, they're obviously going to do a lot worse. But the only reason that the Golden State Warriors are still in the running for the playoffs is because of Steph Curry. But the only reason as to why the Nuggets are still in the running and at the number 4 seed is not only because of Nikola Jokic. That's why I have personally Steph Curry as my most valuable player.
I will say this: if he is able to pull those Warriors into the playoffs, not only has John won the bet of full palm smacking me as hard as he can, but
Wait,
I
what?
would. Do you not remember this?
No, I don't.
Damn, kind of mad about that back up. But yeah, this was a few episodes ago, and I said there's no way the Warriors are making the playoffs, and you said yes, there is, and you said they would.
They're going to make the playoffs.
And I said, all right, if they make the playoffs, you can full open palm smack me as hard as you can.
I'll ball on that team myself if I have to. Don't make the playoffs.
But if the Warriors do make the playoffs, I could definitely see that argument for him. I feel like they have to make the playoffs
I
for
agree
Curry
with that.
to even get a shot at it.
I agree with that. I agree. We have
You agree?
agreement. You know what? Never mind. I don't agree.
Oh, okay.
No, wait. I agree.
Well, that's the end of my topics. So you guys do whatever you want to do.
Do whatever we want.
I'm guessing Ben goes first because usually we save your question or whatever you have at the end.
Well, I thought wasn't there a game?
Yeah, Ben usually does his thing. He did the East, or did you do the West last time for that one game that we did?
Oh shit.
Oh, I just did the East of that game. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do the West.
All right. So that means I have 2. All right. The first one is kind of quick. So out of the 8 total teams that will be in that play-in, little play-in thing, who is currently the only team with a positive point differential? Out of the current teams are the Heat, Hornets, Pacers, Wizards, Blazers, Grizzlies, Spurs, and Warriors, and only one of them has a positive point differential.
Portland?
No.
Is it the Hornets?
It is not the Hornets.
I have no idea.
It's the Grizzlies.
Really?
They have a positive 1 point differential. The Blazers actually have a negative 0.1, so they're like that close to having positive.
Damn.
So, all right. So for the people who
I think we should
contribute-
call those types of like moments Ben's statistics showdown. He loves his statistics questions.
I like it.
I always find them interesting. Yeah. All right. So for the ones who weren't here last time, I ran through all the Eastern Conference teams and a player or a coach, whichever comes to your mind first as I say a team. All right. So we're going to go to the Western Conference this time. Utah Jazz.
Donovan Mitchell.
John Stockton.
I also think John Stockton. Phoenix Suns.
Chris Paul.
Charles Barkley.
I'd say Steve Nash. The Clippers.
Blake
Paul
Griffin.
George.
Blake Griffin as well for me. Really, Paul George?
Is literally the first
He's
thing that
got.
comes to
I
my
think he's
head.
got like. I think he's got the current rosters in his head right now.
Yeah,
think so,
because
too.
literally of the three teams, it is all current players. But Nuggets.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Michael Porter Jr.
I go Jokic. LA Lakers.
Kobe, baby. Kobe.
Kobe. The
Kobe.
Bean. The Bean.
Kobe. The Bean. The Bean. I can't do the voice. Did you guys see that video?
The Mavericks.
Dirk. German Jesus.
Dirk. Hell
Steve
yeah.
Nash.
I always forget he was on the Mavericks,
Yeah,
man.
me as
He
well.
just wasn't good. He wasn't good yet when he was on the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Mark
Cuban.
Trailblazers.
Greg Oden.
I'd go Lillard. Yeah. Grizzlies.
John Morant, baby.
See, I'd go.
Fucking love that guy.
I'd go Rudolph. Zach Rudolph.
Yeah, I was like the first two ones that came to my head were Ja and Mike Conley.
Spurs.
Popovich.
Dejounte Murray.
Popovich as well. Really, you had Murray over Popovich and
Murray's
Duncan?
My favorite.
And
Murray
Parker?
is one of my top 5 players to watch right now. I love him.
He's gonna be a good one.
The Warriors.
Steph Curry.
Curry.
Yeah, come on, we all knew that. The Pelicans.
AD.
Boogie.
I'm saying Zion. The Kings.
I guess I have to say De'Aaron Fox. I was trying to go with a throwback one.
See, I thought Boogie for the Kings.
The first thing that came to my head was Mike Bibby. Did he play for the Kings? I think he did.
Mike Bibby?
Mike Bibby, yeah.
Getting a fact check on this. Hold on.
Getting a fact check, yep.
Crap. I'm trying to look up where he did at one point play for the Kings, yes.
There we go.
That's what I thought.
He was drafted by the Grizzlies, also played for the Kings, Hawks, Wizards, Heat, and Knicks.
Speaking of the devil.
Which one was the devil in that one? Oh. Isn't Mike Bibby the one who got like real buff?
Yeah.
I thought that was him. The Thunder.
KD.
Westbrook.
Russell. Yep.
Timberwolves.
D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo Russell. My boy.
It's Cat or KG for me. Like both kind of popped up at the same time.
Surprised I really didn't think of KG.
And then the Rockets.
Luke something.
What? Luke Batamute?
Yeah.
Because he spelled like me. He spelled like my name.
Yeah.
I have to go Elijah one.
Oh, Olajuwon, greatest center of all time.
I'd probably go Yao Ming or Harden, but you think
Did I say Yao
Olajuwon's?
Ming? I did not say Yao Ming.
I was
Oh,
surprised you didn't
Yes!
say Yao Ming.
Yes!
But also, John, you think Olajuwon's the greatest center?
Absolutely.
You are.
It's
How
either
many
Bobo
Pepsi?
or
How many
Taco Bell for me.
Pepsis? How many Pepsi have you had?
This is my 13th.
That explains it.
No, I
Yeah,
think Shaq is fat. Will
In
is
his
old.
prime? In his
and
Fat
sloppy.
prime.
Shaq. Fat Shaq.
In his prime, he was over 300 pounds, Ben. Yeah, I think
Still
he's a little
dominant
fat.
as fuck.
He was
though.
also like 7 foot.
Absolutely.
So
He was
you're
seven,
giving
foot.
that
7'2".
I think he was 7'1".
I thought he was 7'2".
Okay, so the
Fact check.
taller you are, the more weight you're gonna be.
Absolutely. I completely agree. 7'1", I was right. I completely agree with that. But, I mean, you got Kristaps Porzingis, who's 7'3", but he doesn't weigh 300 pounds.
He's
Or
also a power
Boban,
forward for the most part.
or Boban, who is a center, who is, I
Boban.
think, 7'4" or 5", and
Isn't
he
he-
doesn't weigh 300 pounds.
He's also not the skill level as Shaq.
Okay, and I don't think Shaq has skill. I think he
Hey.
has size.
Boban is not 300, but he is 291, and he is
Like,
very
that's not
skinny.
300. That's not 300.
You know, I just
Yes.
Shaq was fat.
But
Shaq was fat.
all right, well, John, go for your question.
My question for the two of you guys, pretty damn simple. It's easy. Give me your most underrated and overrated player so far in the 2020-2021 season.
See,
Any
I feel like
conference, any team.
I feel like I was like I really had this in my mind that this person was underrated, and now I can't think. I had that in my mind today. Okay, I got my underrated.
Kyle, what's your underrated?
Russell Westbrook.
Okay. What about your overrated?
I still need time on that.
Okay, Ben.
Oh,
do
you know what?
have-
I got it.
Okay, go ahead, Luke.
Jason Tatum.
Overrated, really?
I think so.
You think Jason Tatum right now is overrated?
I think so.
Mans is averaging 25.7 and 7.4 rebounds on 25.6 minutes.
I'm gonna
Is
change
that
my
still
answer.
overrated?
Can I change
Yeah,
my
you
answer?
can. You can change your answer.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Give me some time. Someone else go.
Or
Um,
someone else.
for underrated, I'd probably go Westbrook as well. The man's just solid.
Okay.
For overrated, are we talking about like how the media portrays him now, or what he was supposed to be at the beginning of the year?
I'd say probably how the media portrays it.
Damn, that's tough.
It is tough, ain't it?
If we're going off that, I'd probably say Damian Lillard or Brendan
Okay.
Ingram.
Okay.
If we're going off of like where they were supposed to be at the beginning of the year, 100% Oubre.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Luke, do you have an overrated player just yet?
Like, I can kind of see Oubre, so I'll say that for now. You say yours, and if I can come up with one, I want to come up with like an original one.
All right. My underrated player this year, Zion Williamson.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Underrated.
Is that because the media just stopped paying attention to him since LaMelo got in the league? Or like, do you legitimately think that he has outperformed what he was supposed to be?
Both. Zion in his second year. Remember, last year wasn't a full year.
He only
In
played
his
like
second-
20 games, right? If that.
If that, because he was injured for most of it too.
Mm-hmm.
In his second year, he's averaging 26.9 points,
Which is
7
leading the
point-
Pelicans.
which is leading the Pelicans, 7.2 rebounds per game on 32.9 minutes. Those averages are better than Jason Tatum. And everyone is raving about Jason Tatum or whatever. But I think the reason why Zion is not in the media right now is because he's on the Pelicans. He's not in a big market at all. Not at all.
And you know, LaMelo Ball came in and all
LaMelo
that.
Ball definitely
Yeah.
didn't help.
Make
Yeah, like-
history.
like Williams, like he's leading in points per game. He's third in rebounds. He's fourth in assists per game.
Absolutely.
I don't hold up. What's he in for blocks? He is also fourth. Actually, no, he's third. I don't know why, but like this one person is. Oh yeah, all right. He's currently third. So
Right.
yeah, all right. I can see that. I honestly like had no idea like how I thought he was just having like a pretty average season for what he was supposed to be. Again, because I just haven't heard anything about him.
Right. Exactly. I mean, he's having one of the best years of any basketball player, most basketball players in his
Oh
second
yeah,
year alone.
most players would
Imagine
kill
when
to
he
have this season.
exactly. Imagine what he's going to be like in 3 years if he doesn't get injured.
ESPN went from covering this man's everything
Piss pattern to fucking
for the
you
last
know
for 2 straight years, and then one rookie comes in. They're like, "Nah, I don't want to play with you no
exactly
more." That like Toy Story meme.
exactly seriously though.
Yeah.
And Luke, do you have the most overrated player yet?
You know what? Even though I do like him, I'm gonna say Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball. Why do you say Lonzo Ball? Overrated.
For overrated, really?
Mm-hmm. They they expected him to freaking like go off this season because they finally found like they have Zion healthy, they have Brandon Ingram, and he's either he's one of the best players in the league. Well, I'm obviously making an expression here. He's either the greatest player in the game or he's the worst.
And you think that makes him
That's more of like
overrated?
the media's portrayal of it. That's not like the actual of what it is.
Didn't you go off media though?
Well, I said one for media and then one for what they were supposed to be, like at the beginning of the year, because it's two separate things, and a lot of people say someone's overrated or underrated just based on the media attention given, which doesn't mean much.
Well,
See, I
hold on.
disagree. I think media attention is what matters the most in this.
Hold on. First of all, can I just
Zion,
read this? I was
Zion's
looking at a
having a
list.
career of an amazing year. Sorry, Luke, but Zion's having an amazing year and no one's covering it. So you're
That's what I'm saying.
saying that doesn't take away from the fact that he's having a great year, though.
No, not at all. I'm not saying that he's not having a great year. I'm saying that he's being underrated. Like people aren't rating him as good as he should be because of the lack of media coverage.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want you to either agree or disagree with this statement. I actually looked up who is the most overrated NBA player in 2021. Um, and this man, Philip Schwain, he studies finance at DePaul University. All right, I'm gonna read you this entire thing. Russell Westbrook is the most overrated player of all time. Sure, he plays tough and has freakish athleticism, but Westbrook is what separates NBA fans and NBA analysts. The fans see someone who averaged a triple double and they say, "Wow, that is amazing." The analysts see that he is a player where when he is averaging those triple doubles, his team is not having successful seasons. Russell has had no real success in the playoffs, even though he's been lucky to have great teammates throughout the year. First, he was a part of the Thunder that did make it to the NBA Finals but fell short. Other years, his team consistently getting knocked out. In the past 3 years, his team was knocked out in the first round each time. After KD left, he was quoted as saying the OKC team lacked shooting and firepower. People were confused. Harden himself and other shooters were a great fit for the team. Who could he be talking about? Westbrook. And to this day, Westbrook is a dreadful shooter from outside the paint, which slows down every team he's a part of. I'm not saying Westbrook is not a star. He is, and I actually sometimes enjoy watching him play. But people want to push that he's one of the best point guards in the league. But in reality, but the reality is that he does not touch other point guards like Curry, Irving, Dame, and now Luka Doncic. Russell can enjoy stat padding and getting troubles. I don't know what that means. And yes, it can be impressive, but I feel it is not as impressive as others truly think.
Full-heartedly disagree with almost everything that man said.
The Wizards were the worst team in the league, and then Westbrook got traded, and now they're in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, and even before, like even earlier on, when Westbrook wasn't playing like Westbrook, and it was all Beal all the time, they were losing.
Because Beal's a loser.
Westbrook starts playing like Westbrook. They have a chance now.
Right.
Like,
You know what that means, though, right?
what?
What's that?
Beal's not a winner.
Okay. Well, anyways,
I knew that kid would.
actually,
But
I'm gonna read you
I-
this one.
Like I hate when people say, "Oh, most overrated of all time," because he gets triple doubles. But when people like Doncic or Curry or Harden or LeBron get triple doubles, it's awesome, pure talent, greatest. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like up until Westbrook, only one player in the history of the league had ever recorded a triple double throughout the whole year. This man has done it 3 times. And people are like, nah, stat padding, he's overrated. I'm like, dude, like, that is insane. Like, Jordan couldn't do it. Kobe couldn't do it. LeBron's never done it. Like, it's like Skip Bayless always dogging on LeBron. Like, what more do you, like, obviously, yes, a ring would help. But you can't put that all on one player.
Agree.
Right. Well, I'm gonna read this one for John's enjoyment. Overrated player, LeBron James. I don't care how many championships he's won or how much he makes, scores, or whatever else. If he would stay with one team for more than 3 to 4 years, maybe I might respect him a bit. I lost all respect for him from his days in high school, when every D1 school is trying to recruit him and he blows that away by doing a really dumb thing. I have no respect. When you lose your eligibility before getting into college, I don't have any respect for that individual.
What?
What do you...
I have no respect for a man who used his insane talents to go and completely change his life and his family's life. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people, bro?
These are actually kind of amusing.
God.
They have several paragraphs.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Like, LeBron James wasted the first 7 years of his career to a dead-end Cavs team, went to the Heat, won 2 championships, came back to another dead-end Cavs team, and still won a championship against the best basketball team in NBA history.
And the only reason he went back is because he pretty much demanded that, hey, you need to put pieces around me or I'm never coming back.
This guy actually said Lonzo.
Lonzo's overrated?
That's what he said, yeah. He said.
So would you stick with Lonzo then?
Well, let me read this off and we'll see if you can agree with my Lonzo decision or disagree. And
did you say Lonzo was overrated or under?
I said over.
Over, okay.
To me right now, this is by Jared Alo. He said, to me right now, the most overrated player in the NBA is Lonzo Ball. He's a top pick in a draft 4 years ago, but his numbers are rapidly declining this year again. He's shooting 38 from the field, 29 behind the arc. Just so you know, this is from January, so these probably aren't as bad or as good. I don't know. His free throw shooting is sitting at 58.3, which is only slightly better than Shaq's. He's hovering around 24 points per game, but he's still getting 38 minutes a game. Coach Stan needs to either sit him for large minutes a game and let their hungry talent play, or try and find a trade for him, even if it's just for cash, draft picks, and another young player that either sit and learn or start right away.
I disagree. I think Lonzo is going to be the next Steve Nash.
Yeah,
his shooting has improved so much lately.
Mm-hmm. I could see Lonzo by the end of his career potentially being in that conversation of kind of how like we put Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo and even Steve Nash up there. I don't know if he'll ever win an MVP, but like, yes, they're not the greatest shooters. Yes, they don't have the flashiest plays, but they are floor generals. They will get the job done. They will lead your team. Even without another star on that floor, they will be there for you.
And Lonzo has elite defense.
Yeah, that is. I hate how defense is so overlooked in anyone but like a center or power forward.
Right, I agree.
Because like
It's like blocks and steals are the only thing that matters. Okay.
Yeah, he is like 1.4 steals this year, which leads the Pelicans.
All right, yeah, he's a good basketball player.
Yeah, will he ever live up to the number 2 overall hype? Probably not. Will he ever live up to the hype that the media jumped on when his dad kept saying, "Oh, he's the next Curry, he's the next LeBron"? What? No, of course not. No one will ever be what those guys were. We will almost certainly never see that again. So
I would kill a man to have Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo all on the same team and have them get their asses handed to them by a basketball team, just to see what LeVar Ball's excuse would be.
Oh, he put it on every other player and the coaches, 100%.
Yeah,
And
like
Michael
I just
Jordan, if they were
seriously.
He demand drug tests from the other teams. Like
seriously, he would demand a trade for his own sons, and you're like, what? I would kill a man for that.
Well, you had your question. Anything else?
Well, I'm asking. I was like, is that your overrated pick?
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys want to know what my overrated pick is? This might surprise you.
over and under. Yeah.
Well, under I said was Zion.
Oh shit, that's right. My bad.
It is your bad, but my
What a dick.
my overrated player of the year, Julius Randle. Julius Randle.
What?
Julius Randle.
Are you fucking dumb?
What?
Julius Randle. Julius Randle.
The man is leading the Knicks in
The Knicks
points, rebounds, and assists.
and playoff spot.
He has put them into a playoff spot. He is.
I agree.
And can you say which team this is again?
The Knicks.
The New York Knicks.
He's currently averaging a double-double. Like,
Yes, he is.
what
Yes,
makes
he
him
is.
overrated, though? Like, the man is playing out of his mind. No one even expected him to be half as good as he is this year. How is he overrated?
You're right. I think the reason he's overrated is specifically because the Knicks have never been in this position since Carmelo Anthony. Right. Now,
They haven't had a player like this since Carmelo Anthony.
So realistic. This is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm looking at the roster for the Knicks, and Emmanuel quickly, his picture is RJ Barrett. But anyway, the point is RJ Barrett, right? RJ is a great basketball player. Okay, he is not the best by far. He's not even the best on the Knicks. But you put him with Derrick Rose, RJ Barrett, like Mitchell Robinson. You got Reggie Bullock, who's a known scorer. You got Taj Gibson, Kevin Knox, Nerlens Noel, or whatever the hell. You got a lot of pieces to this team. And I think Julius Randle is obviously having a career year, and he should be highly recognized for it. But I think he's too recognized for it, and it's overlooking the rest of the team. And I think it's overlooking the rest of the team specifically because the Knicks haven't been here in so long. I mean, they were the worst team in the league last year, and now they're one of the best.
So by that logic, Chris Paul should be overrated because the Suns hadn't been there in years.
Mm-hmm.
Like Julius Randle's contribution without Julius, without Chris Paul, neither team is where they are. And yes, they don't talk about the other players as much, but there is a slight reason to it.
I do believe that Chris Paul shouldn't get all the credit because you obviously have guys like Devin Booker on that team.
Yes, and
But
Julius Randle does not get all of the credit, but
no, but Julius
take him
Randle
all-
was also playing. He played 20. I'm sorry, not 25. He played 64 games last year with the Knicks, and they were still ass.
he's better. He's better this year, man.
Yeah, he's better, obviously, but realistically, what it is, I mean, he only averages 3 points more, less than 1 rebound more, and 3 more assists. But he's got a much better team around him, right? And when it comes to Chris Paul came to the team, instantly made an impact. But I will say that they were undefeated in the bubble without Chris Paul. That's got to show you something. That shows you that they're sick and tired of losing. Right now, Chris Paul obviously didn't hurt them whatsoever. But Chris Paul is not the only reason for their success. Just as we've seen here, Julius Randle is not the only reason for the Knicks' success. And it's, in my opinion, the media is portraying it as Julius Randle has a broken back because of where the Knicks are. And I just don't think that's accurate whatsoever. And in my opinion, he is the most overrated player for that reason. This year, at least. This year. You guys don't have to agree with it, but can you at least see where I'm coming from?
I can see where you're coming from with
I get
media.
it, but
Okay.
With like the media saying they're carrying him. I can kind of see where that's coming from.
Right.
But I feel like he's getting so much media attention because no one saw it coming.
And I didn't either. And he
so
should
that-
be getting a lot of media.
Because if you think about it, what would you rather click on? Like saying like an ESPN article, LeBron reaches triple double, which is something he does regularly, or Julius Randle.
Well, if it's just Julius Randle, I'm obviously thinking LeBron. But if it's
No,
Julius
I'm just
Randle
saying,
leading the Knicks.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like you want to click on something that you've never seen before. It's going to be the same article that was posted 2 days ago when LeBron last did a triple double. But when you see something like when I saw Wiggins get like 40, he had like 45 points the one game or something like that. It was in the high 40s. I clicked on it because I wanted to watch the highlights and I wanted to read it. I feel like if a player that hasn't been recognized for his accolades does something amazing, either night in or night out for that season, or he does it, once every couple games, you're going to click on that more. So that's why they go towards, they have more media attention. But
of course, and he's been underrated his whole life. And I think that's part of the reason as to why I think he's overrated now, because everyone is so shocked that Julius Randle of all players is here now, leading the Knicks. Nobody would ever think that Julius Randle could lead the Knicks to even a playoff spot, let alone the number 4 seed in the East. And the East is a powerhouse now. So, but at the same time, it's not just Julius Randle. Like ESPN is making it out to be.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose may not be the best Derrick Rose ever, but that man is still Derrick Rose, and he's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they did the same thing with LaMelo.
LaMelo was my second option.
I get LaMelo's making history, but this man is not freaking LeBron or Jordan. Like he is already getting treated like LeBron or a Jordan type figure.
I'm telling you, Luke.
Not even a full season. I love it. He's my favorite rookie that I've seen out of this class. I like Anthony Edwards as much as the next guy, but LaMelo's got that sort of personality. You know what I'm saying? He's confident. That floater that he does from like the free throw line.
What the hell is wrong with him?
That thing.
How can he sink those?
Well, if you saw
from the 3-point line.
If you saw a previous video from like when he was a kid, it was LeVar teaching him how to do that.
Well, yeah, like he came in, I think it was like 8th grade or freshman when he started playing varsity, and he was so short that was the only
Yeah,
way he's making it. So it
right.
And he didn't have the muscle to drive either, so he had to.
No, you're right.
didn't have muscle, didn't have the height. Well, gotta
And
put
now
me
he
way
has
over
the
him.
height. Man's is like 6'7". He has the
And
height.
still,
He's
still
still
go.
getting
Still like
buttered,
him.
and he's still sinking them. It's so crazy to me, bro.
But yeah, but like
I'm
I don't think
telling you,
he's.
watch
He's
that
like,
big
oh,
three.
Taco falls in the paint. Nah, I'll go right above him.
Yeah, watch that big three. I'm telling you, LaMelo, Gordon Hayward, and Devontae Graham, they're going to the finals this year. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be the Lakers versus
So hold on, before
Charlotte
we
Hornets.
end this, so I heard that Lamelo's like he can go back to basketball activities.
Yeah,
He might
yeah,
come back this year.
he was cleared
He
for
might.
activities and like practices, and slight possibility that they could clear him out for games.
So if they make the playoffs, he can probably come back.
Mhm.
If they don't make the playoffs, he might be able to come in for like the last game or two.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
At that
current time.
at that point, as a
I
coach,
would just
would
sit
you
him.
do that?
I know I wouldn't risk it.
I'm the same way.
I'd
Yeah, I
rather
wouldn't
wait.
sit him.
I'd rather wait a full off season for that thing to fully heal, like
Mhm.
110% healed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it was like a fluke thing. Like he just went to like brace himself on a fall. And
Because if I'm
Right.
if I'm Michael Jordan, I'm like, man, this kid's got potential, and he's only played like what, like 50, 40, 50 games. So I want him to be fully healed so that he plays as good as he did. You know, gets the rehab that he wants. You know, gets the training that he wants, so he can be the same exact player as he does. But he'll probably be better. Now he's got the experience.
Yeah. I can't wait until LeBron owns an NBA team. And I want to see Jordan's Charlotte's and LeBron's team in the finals duking it out. That'd be the greatest thing of all time.
I have
so
I
hilarious.
think I have a new favorite West team now. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
pick the. I'm gonna have to be the Jazz because Dwayne Wade owns it now.
Dwayne Wade does own.
Partially, it's partial owner.
Like, why the Jazz of all teams?
It's probably the only team that was like
I was
available
about to
for
say it's
ownership.
probably one of the cheapest. It's probably
It's
one
probably
of the
the only
cheapest and
team you
probably
can
the only one.
afford.
Oh yeah, team's expensive as fuck.
But all right, well, that brings an end to this one. I guess we lengthened it up a little bit, which was good because I don't think we even at the hour mark. So, yeah. So we'll if you want to see more of those reacting videos, with either John or anybody else, we can do more of those. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for coming on. Bron's the GOAT.